Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week I try to bring people from across the country to talk to me about things we could do right here in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
You do the Tootsie Roll?
No, I don't think I can.
And going from Grizzlies, which was this little indie film, to now North of North for Netflix, it was just, I spent months auditioning for it.
All of that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. All right, if you're hosting a spring brunch or planning something festive for Easter, this next guest has got you covered with style and flavor. She's the host of YouTube's only Emmy-nominated cooking show, Cara's Cucina, and she's bringing some fresh ideas for seasonal recipes, DIY decor, and some light spring drinks. Chef, culinary journalist, and all-around food expert, Cara Di Falco is here to help us make it all looks so easy, just in time for the holiday. Welcome to the show, Cara. How are you?
Hi, Dan. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, so if we're all planning a fancy spring or Easter get-together, what's the first thing that we should be all thinking about?
You know what? Whatever you're planning for your spring celebration, it's so much more than a menu, right? You're creating an experience for your guests. So you want to think about things like pastel decor, fresh flowers. Maybe we add in a DIY station for the kids. I've hosted everything from backyard brunches to culinary tours through Italy. Trust me, when you plan the vibe first, everything else falls into place.
All right, so what's one of those go-to tips that you swear by to make like holiday hosting easier?
You know what? As much as I love to be cooking in the kitchen, it is my little boy's very first Easter, so I really want to focus on time with family. Bob Evans will help you create that simple, special meal, easy and delicious, whether you use them as a main dish or as a tasty side. Bob Evans macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes provide that home-style comfort, allowing you to make connection the centerpiece of your Easter celebration. These can be microwave-ready in minutes. You can serve them as is or incorporate them into recipes like this mashed potato muffin or these rosemary sausage balls. Both of those recipes can be found at bobevansgrocery.com.
So how can we make like a gathering feel extra special without like overdoing it?
You know what, Dan? I think folks like to feel like they were thought about in advance, right? So a little personalization, it's such a special touch. So you can elevate your Easter celebration with the Cricut Maker 4. This is the next generation of their best-selling machine. You can craft bright springtime decorations, personalized Easter baskets, party favors for the adults, and even adorable outfits for the kids. It's super easy to upload and cut your own design or choose from their easy-to-learn Cricut Design Space library, where they have over 1 million images, including licensed design from things like Disney, Marvel, Harry Potter, and more. You get to express your creativity and level up your Easter celebration with the Cricut Maker 4. You can find it at Cricut.com and all major retailers.
And brunch is kind of like the unofficial meal of spring. Are there any like easy brunch ideas that you're loving right now?
It totally is, right? And it's so great because it's the perfect combination of sweet and savory. So things that I love to tell folks to incorporate is an egg dish, so either baked eggs or a frittata, something light, fresh, maybe some greens. You want that sweet element, so a pastry or a French toast. And of course, don't forget the bubbles. Feel free to make it a mocktail. Whatever you choose, just keep it colorful, balanced, and easy to prep so you get to enjoy your guests as well.
Hey, I'm loving this so that when I have a guest or a friend over, I don't look like a complete schmuck. I'm trying to impress a little bit.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd recommend to step up our like spring entertaining game?
You know what? Listen, it's all about prep, right? So I always tell folks to do the meal backwards. Start with dessert first. Most dessert recipes can sit in the fridge or the freezer for a day or two. That leaves you plenty of time to get your main and your side dishes ready to rock. As a health coach and culinary journalist, it's all about making it look effortless with some smart prep and simple, stunning dishes. Bob Evans and Cricut can really help you with that this year. Folks can head to my Instagram account at Cara Di Falco. I've got plenty of recipes there and lots of inspiration.
There you go. Be your own sous chef. Make it up. There you go. Where can we go for full recipes and more ideas?
Listen, for everything we talked about here today, Dan, folks want to head over to tipsontv.com.
Cara Di Falco, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed by all the things your home needs this time of year? Spring is a great time to clean, fix things, and plan ahead before it gets too hot. Meredith Sprecher is here to help with what to fix now and how a home warranty can help if things break later. Welcome, Meredith.
Thanks for having me.
Why is it important to take care of your home on the regular?
If you're anything like me, you use your home a ton. From constantly blowing heat or air to daily use of our appliances, we're really putting our homes to the test. And regular maintenance is key to getting ahead and addressing smaller issues before they escalate into stressful or expensive situations. So it's important to do those things like change your filter or check for leaks. Doing these things helps ensure that your home is well maintained, which can help save you time and money in the long run. Spring is already a natural refresh and reset time, so now's the perfect time to get ahead of some of these checklist items.
And what should we make sure is on our spring checklist?
My number one tip to add to your checklist is an AC tune-up. Nobody wants to be caught without AC on a hot summer day, and getting a tune-up can help prevent a breakdown. They can also even extend the life of your unit. But there's lots more you can do, from gutter cleaning to dryer vent cleaning or carpet cleaning, all the way to weather stripping or cleaning your windows. There's so much you can do both inside and outside your home to prepare for the season change. But I know I just listed a lot, and this does not have to feel overwhelming. Fortunately, with a home warranty like American Home Shield, you can get coverage for many of these things, including HVAC tune-ups and dryer vent cleaning. We also have a new service that I'm super excited about, where our homeowners can live video chat with an expert. So if there's something on your to-do list that you're not quite sure you can tackle alone, we have someone right there that can help walk you through getting your home in working order and checking off those maintenance to-do items.
And what is the difference between a home warranty and home insurance?
There's a lot of confusion between the two. I like to say that home insurance covers what might happen, such as damage from a fire or a natural disaster. A home warranty covers what will inevitably happen, such as your oven not turning on when you're hosting the holidays, or your washing machine not spinning when you really need to get that shirt clean. They're both super important, and you really do need both. The two complement one another, and together, when you have both, you're providing the most comprehensive coverage you can have for your home, which is often your most valuable asset.
And how do we know what all our home warranty should cover?
At American Home Shield, we cover up to 29 of the systems and appliances you depend on every day. These items range from your plumbing and electrical all the way to your microwave, refrigerator, washer, and dryer. At AHS, we offer 3 plans, so homeowners can choose the plan that best fits their needs. One of the best things is that plans start at just $1 a day, so they are really affordable, and there's something for everyone.
And where can people go to learn more?
Visit us online at ahs.com. There you can learn more about our plans and even join today.
Meredith, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. It's time to raise awareness and focus on the nearly 1 million Americans living with the disease. It's a condition that affects movement, speech, and everyday life. And for those diagnosed, the journey can be challenging, but also filled with resilience and hope. We have John Lehr, President and CEO of the Parkinson's Foundation, along with Dr. Kathleen Blake, who's living with Parkinson's, with more.
So as soon as a person is diagnosed with Parkinson's, the next step really should be the prescription of an exercise program. And why exercise? Well, it's because exercise is the one thing that has been proven to slow the progression of the disease. And then on top of the exercise is medication. And the medication can smooth out the symptoms of Parkinson's disease.
Well, there are plenty of resources out there, some good, some not so good. That's why we recommend that people go to the Parkinson's Foundation's website, which is parkinson.org. You'll be guaranteed to get evidence-based, peer-reviewed information that helps you with any questions that you might have. But we also have a helpline, which is 1-800-4PD-INFO. That's 1-800-4PD-INFO. It is staffed by experts in Parkinson's disease who can answer any questions that you might have about Parkinson's and also direct you to resources in your local community.
This is a long-term condition. It's something that affects the entire family, the people who care about the individual with Parkinson's disease. So first, Get reliable information so that you know what you need to know about Parkinson's at the time. Second, get involved in your local community. So that might be through a moving day walk. It could be through a support group, for which it might be a support group for the person with Parkinson's, but it could also be for just caregivers. And then I always encourage people to get involved in research, because it is only through research that we will get closer to a cure and to better treatments.
For our website, parkinson.org, or a helpline, 1-800-4PD-INFO.
Do you ever feel like your debt is just too much to handle? A new survey from Experian says nearly 25% of Americans feel that way. We're joined by Griffin. He's with Experian to help us better understand debt and how to take control. Rod, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
What does unmanageable debt really mean?
Unmanageable debt is that debt that gets so large that it's affecting your ability to pay for basic necessities, things like groceries or putting gas in the car or rent payments each month, those sorts of things. Or it can also be debt that you're making the payments on each month, usually the minimum payments, usually related to credit cards, but that the debt just keeps growing and creates a spiral of increasing debt and eventually becomes overwhelming. So it can be a couple of different things depending on who you're talking to and what the issues are. But in either case, it's debt that you've lost control of and that's affecting your financial health.
And how common is debt from things like credit cards, medical bills, or loans?
Yeah, debt is extremely common. The average household debt in the U.S., average total debt, I'll say this right eventually, the total debt in the total household debt in the U.S. is now in excess of $18 trillion. The credit card debt is in excess of $1.2 trillion. So credit card debt's a big part of that. And so reducing that debt becomes really important. And credit cards can be a great place to start because that's something we have a bit more control of. So if you think about medical debt, that's something that is out of our control in most cases. So start with the thing that's affecting people the most in the most commonly, and that's credit card debt.
And what are some ways people have been able to get out of serious debt?
Yeah, so we talk about, thinking about we're going into spring and summer, but we can talk about winter a little bit when it comes to credit card debt. There are two methods for paying down credit card debt that are used most commonly. One's called the avalanche method. That's where you take the largest debt on the highest interest rate credit card and start to pay it off first. Over time, that's going to reduce that debt. You can use that payment then to pay down other debts. The thing about that is it can be slow to get started and can seem to take a long time. That can be discouraging in some cases and cause you to want to give up. And so that's where math is right every time when it comes to the financial impact of that approach, but the emotional side is not accounted for in math. So that's where the snowball method can help. If you take the smallest debt, the lowest interest rate, pay it off first, that can go fast. It can keep you motivated, give you a sense of accomplishment, and help you address the emotional side of things. So you have to pick what's right for you when it comes to paying down credit card debt. At the same time, I would add that it's important that you look at other ways perhaps to save and put money back in your pocket that you can put toward that debt. One of those is something we call subscription creep. Today, we have so many apps and so many streaming services, things that we may have subscribed to that we just don't use. And canceling those can help save you money that you could then put toward that debt. Experian can help with that. We have a subscription cancellation service at Experian.com that if you enroll in our premium service, which is a fee, but if you enroll in that service, we can help identify those streaming services and cancel them for you, which could then help you pay down your debt. So think about things that might not ordinarily consider when it comes to paying down credit card debt.
Where can people go to learn more or find support?
It's really important to go to the experts when you need to know what you don't know. And if you are uncertain where to begin, you can go to Experian.com. We have lots of education materials and resources that can help you find out what you need to do in terms of managing your credit report, knowing what your credit score is and what to do about it so that you know exactly what's affecting it. So great place to start. If you are in need of credit counseling, help with budgeting, for example, which is really important, you need to have a plan. There's an organization called the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, NFCC. Go to nfcc.org. You can find a nonprofit credit counselor near you. They can help look at your overall financial picture and help you then make a plan that's going to work for you. So get help. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. You're not the only one who's had those challenges. I honestly tell people when I was young, I was paying one credit card with another. I had to go to my grandma to ask for help. Never go to the bank of grandma. Grandma guilt is a real thing. She would have been a fabulous collector. But family and friends may be able to help. My grandma did, but I made sure I paid her back because she was fantastic at making you feel guilty, I got to say.
Rod, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Great, thank you.
All right, I got my Hawaiian shirt on, and the reason why is because I got this guy here.
Hey!
What's going on, Amy?
2025, we've been talking about it. We got to do it again, man. We got to go back to the beach.
We're going back to the beach.
Yes.
Too.
Because the season is about to change, and we're about to turn it up as we get ready to get into summertime. May 31st is what I'm talking about specifically.
That's like before the summer, but yet the beginning of the summer.
It kind of is. And the great thing about it is that we're going to take you back to the beach.
This throwback party is a deeper throwback, so we're going to the 90s.
Last year we did the Y2K dance party. This year it's a 90s dance party. And not only that, we're going to have DJ Way Funky holding it down on the ones and twos, mixing it up for you. And we've got a special invited guest.
The butterfly, that's old. Let me see the Tootsie Roll.
The 69 Boys.
69 boys backed up by the quad to the DJs. One time.
The 69 Boys!
Can you do the Tootsie Roll?
No, I don't think I can. I'm going to have to learn before now and then. But also they do Kitty Kitty.
That's your favorite song.
Hey, Baby Cass loves that song.
Oh yeah. He holds it down, man. Now, what we want to let you know is that you can get your tickets right now, holdmyticket.com. Don't miss out to be a part of this big celebration. We're going to be kicking off summer the right way with the Hustle 1013. The Hustle fam's going to be there. Danny G's going to be there. DJ Way Funky's going to be there. And the 69 Boys.
That's how we're going to do it. Let's kick off summer right with the biggest event of the year so far. One of the first,
May 31st, it's all happening at the Oasis Event Center on the west side, next to the Cottonwood Mall. You might have known it as the Salt Yard West.
Oh, okay. When you said the Oasis, I was a little confused.
Yeah.
When you say Salt Yard West, I remember that spot.
Oh, yeah.
But it's now the Oasis?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good name. I like that place. And I heard they remodeled.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, man. We're going to be there. We want you to be there. Make sure you jump onto holdmyticket.com and get your tickets right now. And they have cabanas avalu for a super good price.
I think we need some Hannahs and bananas for the cabanas.
Don't start all that.
Do you ever feel like everyone in your town knows everything about your life? Now imagine that. But, in the Arctic. North of North is Netflix's latest Canadian original comedy, and it follows Siaja, a young Inuk woman navigating small-town gossip, single motherhood, and discovering herself in the snowy, tight-knit community. She's fierce, she's funny, and pretty much not afraid to fall on her face. And bringing her to life is the incredibly talented Anna Lambe, who's here with a fresh new series that's as heartfelt as it is hilarious. Welcome to the show, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so your character Siaja kind of like makes some of these big, bold moves right from the start of the series. What drew you to her story, and what parts of her journey felt especially personal for you to play?
I mean, from the moment that I read the audition sides, I was so deeply invested. I loved that she was well-intentioned, but so incredibly messy and complicated, and had all of these dynamics around her, a complicated relationship with her mother, an unsatisfying marriage, but a dream and an ambition that she wanted something else for herself. And to, tell the story, which is like a second coming of age, this young woman deciding that she wants a life that she wants to live. She wants, something that is different, and she wants to put herself first for the first time in her life, was so exciting. And the showrunners, Alethea Unhoch-Burrell and Stacey Aucklook McDonald, are, the producers of the first ever film that I did when I was 15 years old, called The Grizzlies. And it really was a full circle moment, coming back together and going from Grizzlies, which was this little indie film, to now North of North for Netflix. It was just, I spent months auditioning for it and many days crying about it, hoping that it would work out. And it did. And I'm so incredibly proud of what we created.
And I'm glad it did. The show, it balances comedy with some like real emotional depth. How did you find that balance as an actor, especially with some of Siaja's like tougher moments?
Yeah, I think finding it as an actor might have been difficult if I wasn't from Iqaduit, if I wasn't Inuk, because that is so representative of how we do navigate hard times in our lives and how we deal with things. Inuit humor, it can be so dry, it can be so silly, but there's so much trauma that exists within our community, there's so much hardship, that a sense of humor is how we get through it and how we face the really difficult things. So doing that, and especially with Micah Harper, who plays Nivi, who's also from Iqaduit, being on the same level as someone and really understanding each other and each other's history and what you're bringing to a scene and how you really kind of create that, I love you so much, but, oh, do you make me angry, was so, what we knew already. So it was, I think, as an actor, a real privilege to be able to get to do that swing of emotion, the really silly, like high comedy, kind of clowny stuff, all the way to, the heartbreaking, kind of punches you in the stomach stuff.
And North of North, it's comedy, but it's also a huge moment for Inuit storytelling. What does it mean for you to be a part of a project led by Inuit creators, filmed in the Arctic, and starring an Indigenous cast?
It's so exciting. As we were getting ready to film the show and as we were filming the show, a lot of people would say like, oh, does it feel like a lot of pressure? Do you feel a lot of pressure doing this and telling this story? And shockingly, no, because the showrunners are Inuit women from the North. Micah Harper is an Inuk woman from the North. Zorga Khaunak is an Inuk woman from the North. And so it was like the shared responsibility of representing the community in the best way possible. And we got so much love back from Iqaduit, from people from Iqaluit, and from the territory as a whole, from the designers that contributed work to our show, to, other filmmakers that wanted to support us, to the community just showing up and supporting us in whatever way that they could. So it always reframed things in the big picture of, we're not just creating a show, we're not just, doing these roles and doing this for our own careers. It's always about the community, it's always about the bigger picture, and it's always about, telling the story and what that could mean for people when they watch it. So it's just been a real privilege. It's been really exciting, and it's been a beautiful thing to share this with, people that just love this show and love the North. And now, an international audience gets to watch it, which is pretty cool and exciting.
Anna Lambe, thanks for joining me this morning. Check out North of North. It's available now on Netflix. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Going on vacation soon? Be careful what you pack. Some food could spread pig disease called African swine fever. It doesn't make people sick, but it can really hurt our pork supply here in the U.S. Joining us now is Fernando Lugo. He works with the USDA in the Dominican Republic and helps stop the disease from spreading. Welcome, Mr. Lugo.
Hi, Abby. Good morning.
Can you tell us what African swine fever is and why it matters?
African swine fever is a highly contagious virus that is killing millions of pigs around the world. African swine fever has been found in approximately 120 countries around the world. After ASF was detected in 2021 in the Caribbean, a USDA decided to implement a protection zone in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. This with the intention of stopping and preventing the spreading of ASF and to prevent the entry of this lethal virus into the United States. ASF, it is very important to mention that ASF is not harm to humans, but it has devastating effects in the economy. It may cost the economy of the U.S. billions of dollars. There's no treatment or vaccine for this virus. So prevention is the only tool we have right now to prevent the introduction of this disease. So we want to keep everyone aware of what the disease is, what it means, how to prevent it, to get and reach the United States.
And it doesn't hurt people, but travelers can spread it without knowing. How's that?
As a traveler, you can bring the disease and the virus, the ASF virus, in any pork product that you can carry. As a passenger, you might want to bring some salamis, some sausages, some pork chops, some pernil to your relatives. And you might be introducing the African swine fever virus into the United States. Please don't bring, when you travel this spring and this summer, don't bring any pork products. This virus can survive extreme conditions, and it can survive in high temperatures and low temperatures. Even if the food is cooked, it can harbor the disease in it. So please don't bring any pork products.
And what could happen here in the U.S. if it does spread?
If the African swine fever virus spreads to the U.S., to the mainland, it's going to cost the U.S. Millions and millions of dollars. The United States is the second largest exporter of swine meat in the world, so that's significant. We have a very large pork production, and we consume a lot of pig meat, which is very important for us to keep safe our pork production. The job losses, the meat shortages, and all the exportations we gonna lose. Plus, our producers they're gonna lose millions and millions of pigs. So please, when you travel, don't bring any pork products.
And where can our viewers learn more?
You can learn more visiting our website at aphis.usda.gov/stopasf. You can find very valuable information in our website.
Mr. Lugo, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. If you want to learn more, go to our website, newmexicorising.com, and get all the above: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.